Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Thank you for joining us. This is the Wrestling Bubble, the TWB, and this is your AEW Dynamite Review for July 16th. And they were live from the Byline Bank Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. And we kicked off this episode of Dynamite with Hangman Adam Page, your new AEW World Champion. He defeated Jon Moxley at All In Texas recently. And we finally get to see the AEW World Championship. It's no longer being held hostage in a briefcase by the Death Riders, Jon Moxley in particular. So it's always nice to see the AEW World Championship. Just first of all in Texas. What a great moment that was for everybody involved in this storyline. Like over the course of what? I don't know if it's been like 6 to 9 months or whatever. Or I mean, it's been a long time.
Been a long time coming. It all started with Orange Cassidy trying to be the man to get the belt back from Jon Moxley. You had Mark Briscoe. You know, we had a few that was trying to get the belt from Jon Moxley, but they crowned the right guy. He has been waiting over almost 2 or 3 years to become the AEW champion, and we got a new one, Hangman Adam Page. We start off the night with our new AEW champion coming out to just give thanks to everyone who has helped him accomplish this AEW goal of finally getting the championship from Jon Moxley out of the briefcase. As you said, it's probably been in the briefcase for like 11 months or whatever. It's been too long coming. I mean, we was tortured with the Jon Moxley story, as most people want to say. But at first, I would say I wasn't a fan of Jon Moxley. You know, he started off, taking over AEW? And we're all like, "Oh, Sheamus coming back."
It was like purifying AEW from those who didn't, who weren't motivated to help make it better, right? He's just sees like a bunch of freeloaders, people that don't actually want to be there, people that aren't trying, etc. You know, scorched earth on everybody that's not down with the vision of the Death Riders. So we suffered
for quite a while now. I mean, we didn't even know where the story is going. We was talking about McMahon was supposed to come and help AEW. Then we thought, who else? Like, a few people was going to be managers.
In general, people put all these high expectations on what they would like to happen versus what was actually happening. You know, because everybody was like fantasy booking, including us. We were fantasy booking, because we just wanted to make sure that the story led to a good payoff and we were entertained in the process, right? And for a while, most people were not entertained because, for one, they didn't really know where the story was going. They didn't understand Moxley's character, the group, etc. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on from the beginning. Like you said earlier, Orange Cassidy started out going up against the Death Riders, and we were just like, okay,
what are we doing?
We
had Orange Cassidy and it was just a hot mess. But
we were looking for Iron Man.
At this point, we Captain were looking America, for Thor. Whoever you want to bring. But
and they gave us who? Like the bottom of the barrel.
Man, we even thought Jon Moxley took the belt from Daniel Bryanson and he been gone forever. But just to catch up, All In Texas was great. They had a Texas death match. Yeah. Pretty much, it was like the Avengers came back. You had Daniel Bryanson. You had the return of Darby Allin. You had Swerve and Hangman and Page reunited. Unfortunately, Will Ospreay got the short end of the stick. He's basically out indefinitely because of Claudio Castagnoli. So basically,
just a whole lot
just a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start off AEW with Hangman Adam Page coming out, and of course the crowd wants to chant the same old chant, "You deserve it." And I'll start by saying I'm so tired of that chant. Okay, he did not deserve it. He earned it.
Exactly.
He fought hard for that title. He probably wasn't a champ for almost 2 to 3 years. This man was showing so much emotion that you could really feel how emotional he was because he has waited forever to get this time. Remember, the Young Bucks promised him a title shot.
Right.
Didn't happen. Then the Young Bucks cost him the title, almost, I believe. He just went through the ringers. But, of course, Hangman want to switch it up by saying the crowd deserve it. And I get why. To me, I feel like he said that because for the longest, people thought he was going to get the title last year, months ago, whatever. They thought it was going to be Darby Allin. And decided TK pulled the trigger and gave it to Hangman at a page. He didn't really say much, but really a bunch of thank yous to like everyone who helped him win the title at All In Texas. And I mean, do you have anything?
It was just Hangman being a big softy. No, I mean, that was his thank you tour to the fans and everybody that contributed towards ripping that belt from Jon Moxley's cold dead hands. So I think that was just like, all right, let's get that out of the way real quick and we can get down to business. Although I think the only business that we really got down to is yet to come. We will find out later what type of business Hangman may find himself in.
Right.
But stay tuned for that. First up, we had a match, our first match of this evening between Kyle Fletcher with Lance Archer and Don Callis versus Mascara Dorada. Okay.
I feel like this is going to be the start for Kyle Fletcher to finally get the TNT belt. This match was, to me, I didn't really watch this match too much because I feel like it was just just to get Kyle Fletcher loose and just to cut a quick promo that he's coming out to Dustin Rhodes for the TNT Championship because, if anyone haven't watched All In Texas, Dustin Rhodes is our new TNT champion. For the first time ever, he won an AEW belt. It was very emotional.
A singles belt.
First singles belt in AEW. And of course, instead of us hearing from Dustin Rhodes on AEW Dynamite for his celebration, we're going to have to wait to AEW Collision. Is it okay? I mean, what?
I can't promise I'll be watching. It's just booked so different. So it's really hard to watch Collision. After what we got when Collision first started.
It started off
right?
great.
Like that was must see to how it is now where it's like below Dynamite instead of at least being equal.
But
right?
I like that. I mean, I feel like if they start putting Collision maybe on Thursdays or whatever.
I could live with that. I could live with Dynamite Wednesday, Collision Thursday, or Collision Friday.
I mean, the way how SmackDown been booked, who's looking at SmackDown at this point?
Yeah, at this point, I'd rather watch Collision on Friday night. I mean, if I'm sacrificing my Friday night, regardless, right? I would rather watch Collision than SmackDown.
So, of course,
sorry, not sorry.
For the dub, you have Kyle Fletcher, and of course, after the match, he's basically warning Dustin Rhodes that his time is up, and I guess he's gonna be showing up on Collision to confront Dustin Rhodes. Who
knows? He had to cut that little impromptu promo directly into the camera because he didn't get mic time, which I felt like would have been so much better if he would have talked before he went out, and then this been like a 6-minute match or something like that. Bandito gets off some offense, get a couple, like maybe 3 signature moves in, and then Kyle Fletcher just take him to town and show exactly why he should have been the new TNT champion. Then he cut that promo directly into the camera like he did. Just show some like a new level of aggression. Show that you're not going to let that slide. Mm-hmm. And honestly, he's got a plight for, okay, why did it go from a 1-on-1 match to a fatal 4-way match? Right? So he's got like a legitimate a complaint. You know how like when certain heels complain and there's some truth to what they're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, he got screwed over. Yeah. So I mean, it's right there.
I mean, y'all could at least made him go against like a former TNT champion.
This is a guy like who's got a legitimate argument that Tony Khan has been holding him back, been showing favoritism, picking other people over him. Whatever. He's got a legit complaint This is an easy way of somebody being screwed over by management or the company, whatever, right? And he goes further into his heel bag. Well, it seems, around here, opportunities aren't given, they're taken. And I'm going to do exactly what I got to do, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Don Callis said he got like 15 people in the family. Y'all can't get something done? Like, come on, man. Anyways, Kyle Fletcher wins this match versus Mascara Dorada with a nasty looking brain buster. Hits one of the best brain busters in the business.
I literally cringed when he hit that. I was like, that's the end of that, dude. After this match, we have the Young Bucks show up in the Uber and can't find their locker. Marina Shafir won't give them the time of day. Ricochet and the Gates of Agony think it sucks to be the Bucks. Don Callis think this is an abomination and it's ridiculous. Basically, Don Callis wants to bring the Young Bucks back to EVPs because AEW is not run properly without them. Honestly, I'm with Don Callis. I love when the Young Bucks was EVPs. They were like the founding fathers of AEW. They basically broke every rule to get... I'm surprised they didn't even just give themselves the title for the tag team championship. I mean, if they really wanted to abuse their power. But I do like this new little gimmick character they're doing. Now they're like bum EVPs.
Broke ass Corbin, basically. Which is okay, because it's needed. Right now, like to follow that up, I'll take it. The problem is with this new direction. You'll learn by the end of the show what the problem with it is. Not that there's a problem with their characters or anything like that. It's the booking of the show. And like I said, you'll see throughout this show what I'm talking about. Yeah, so while the Young Bucks are like in the back and they're trying to get in the dressing room, or the locker room, you did have Don Callis come up and, confront him. But before Don Callis, you had Ricochet in the Gates of Agony. And I think there's going to be something to that in the future.
Well, no. I mean, I just thought it was funny when the Young Bucks was telling Ricochet, we literally just tagged with each other a few weeks ago. It's like all of a sudden, now that they're not like EVPs and they don't have power anymore, it's like everybody's like against them. You're no longer a important.
For one, Ricochet has no use for them since they have no stroke.
So, Ricochet have no use for them. The Death Riders have no use. All the heels, it's like
they were using them
pretty much. And then to me, it's like, what is Don Callis is up to?
Well, there's no honor amongst thieves, so there's no telling what Don Callis is up to. But guarantee you, there's either a screw involved, a screwdriver, or a knife. And it's going in somebody's back or forehead. Okay.
But of course, the Young Bucks let Don Callis know that they are not joining his family. His family is way too big. They're not trying to be his cousins, his uncles, or none of that stuff. They just want to get back being the EVPs down the road. So of course, Don Callis want to mention he got enough people in his family. He's just trying to get the Young Bucks back where they used to be. But following,
hold on. Next, we got probably either my favorite or second favorite segment right here. We got the Hurt Syndicate backstage, and MVP is MVP's like, man, look, what you want me to brag? This was expected. I mean, we already know what was gonna happen.
Who gonna stop him?
We knew what was gonna happen at All In. We still waiting on some real competition around here.
Me too, MVP. Me too.
Man, who's going to challenge us for the tag team championship? We're still waiting. And then MJF jumps in and he starts to talk about winning the casino gauntlet and how he basically has the keys to the castle now. You want to comment on what MJF had to say?
I mean, it's not much to comment. Pretty much, he's glad that Hangman won the title because now he has someone to beat. He said beating Jon Moxley was like a walk in the park. But with Hangman, it might be a little challenge because, Hangman's a bit desperate. But MJF is coming back for the AEW Championship. I don't know when it's going to start, but it's happening soon. And I'm looking forward to MJF versus Hangman. I will say MJF will take the belt from Hangman Adam Page, and probably going to be MJF versus Will Ospreay down the road.
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, long term, I don't think they can make it to the next All In. But there's going to be some shuffling going on, and I see a lot of the top guys mixing it up. So, to be continued on that.
And then, of course, after discussing about the Young Bucks falling, we have the Young Bucks and the Don Callis family versus Jet Speed, Brody King, and Bandito. Woo! So, this was hilarious. The Young Bucks is coming out during their normal entrance with the little, muscle flex and no pyro. Music goes off. Screen went black. And all you hear was the announcer saying Matt, and Nick. No Jackson, no Nicholas and Matthew, no EVPs, no none of that. Y'all are just plain old Jane. Come down to the ring and don't expect nothing else. And then you have the little screen just bouncing up with Matt and Nick. I
mean, bare bones. Yo,
I said, God dang.
The disrespect.
It's like they
to your forefathers.
Hey, you're no longer the forefathers. You're the broke fathers.
Yo, they helped build AEW, and this is the respect they get. They deserve better. The Young Bucks deserve better. Tony Khan.
No, man. I mean,
this was too funny. Like they need stuff like this on the show where it continues the story. It shows how the consequences of, the outcome of the match, like it mattered. It had long-term effects. We're just now starting to see it. That's stuff that they could play off of, and you can always kind of go back to it. You can mix it up with different people, have them interact, have them tease the Young Bucks, etc. The Young Bucks, I feel like they can really do something with this. And look, I've never actually really, besides what they were doing when they started teaming up with the Death Riders.
Right.
Besides that, I really hadn't looked forward to anything the Young Bucks were doing, except like maybe when they were dropping a title or something. Like that, honestly, probably the last time I was interested in the Young Bucks is whenever they were going up against the Lucha Bros. In that cage match that they had.
Yeah.
Yo, I think that was at like a Double or Nothing.
But I actually like this match. This match was fun. It was entertaining. Of course, you start off the match with the amazing Brody and then Alexander start. You get a chops from Brody. You get a few middle shoulders from Brody. And then the Bucks decided to tag on Bandito. And, it was just everywhere. Pretty much this match was, I guess Bandito is the Ring of Honor champion. And he pretty much has his title going to be going against one of the guys in the Don Callis. I forgot the guy's name. But, of course.
Josh Alexander?
No, I believe it's...
Hechicero.
Yes, the guy, Hechicero. Hechicero, I never really see him wrestle. But he reminded me of the guy from Batman.
Bane.
I was just like, this dude is like so swollen built, but he moves so quick.
Yeah. It's just he looks so generic at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I could get behind some of these luchadors. It's just like you got to do more than the flips and everything to stand out, because like even people who don't wear masks are doing all that stuff. And some of them are doing it better, honestly. But it's like, I need a little bit more backstory or something to make him interesting, so I actually care when he's in a match or when he's on my TV. That's it. Just give me a little something. What's your gimmick or what's your character? Why are you who you are? Like, why are you with the Don Callis family? Because I looked up one day and you were just a part of the family.
I'm like, he really
when the hell did that happen?
15 people in his family.
He got all you needed was Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher.
Next man, I'm seeing Lance Archer. I'm seeing a dude that used to be with Orange Cassidy.
He over here doing charity work.
I'm seeing the new guy, Bane. I'm gonna call him. It's like sooner or later you might as well just throw the Young Bucks in that jump.
Less is more. Like, I could have tolerated the Young Bucks as a part of just being like scumbags that were using Don Callis for services. But I mean, look, you could probably cut 8 people off the top of your head from the Don Callis family and wouldn't even realize they're gone.
Not at all. But of course, we did start off with Don Callis did got the upper hand of the match, basically beating the snot out of Kevin Knight for the majority of the match until Kevin Knight finally tagging his partner Speedball. Look, I cannot wait until Kevin Knight and Speedball finally have a fallout. I need Kevin Knight to turn heel. Something, because I know he didn't come to AEW to be in a tag team match, to be a tag team at all, to be honest. It's like this kid, he turned out WWE because he wanted to go to AEW because to him he's good, and I still want to see more of him, but they already threw him in the tag team so fast that it's like, okay, now I'm seeing less of him.
No, well, the idea behind that is you're seeing more of him because he's in a tag team.
Right.
And I think he acquired him around the time where he got like Speedball and a couple other people. You know, he got a discount on a bundle. So when he brought like 8 people in, including like Hechicero and some of
For real.
But no, like, I think all it is instead of just being on a straight catering standby position, it's like, okay, although you guys aren't really a tag team, we need some teams in the tag team division. Also, this is an easier way for you guys to get reps on camera in front of a live audience, and also start to make a connection with the AEW fan base. You know what I mean? And somewhere in there, you will figure out some type of character that makes you stand out more, or something. Like, you'll end up like, this is the time where you're supposed to be developing, for lack of a better word, you know, because they're not going to be a tag team forever because they're not actually a tag team. So I'm just hoping that out of all this TV time that Kevin Knight's been getting, that when he does break off on his own, he'll be comfortable enough to be himself and to be the best version of himself, so that if this guy's truly a star, he'll rise to the top. So
I definitely could see him rising more than Speedball. The only thing Kevin Knight needs to work on, after hearing last week or 2 weeks ago, is his mic skills. I mean, I think the first time I heard him talk, I was just like, what? You have to kill it? Bro, what?
Yeah,
calm down.
it's like, dude.
Calm down. Okay.
Obviously, it's wrestling. This dude, he legit pulled up. He was like, yo, hey, do I need to pop the trunk?
Like, literally. I was just
no, you just need to do a snapmare, okay?
Calm down. Another thing that was funny about the match is when Nick and Matt was trying to hit the EVP triggers.
Right.
And then, I forgot which one it is, Nick or Matt, looking at him like, what are you doing? We don't call it that no more. You know, it's like all of a sudden it really just hit them that they're no longer EVPs. It's like, we are really just regular smuggler, little bottom feeders, wrestlers with you guys now, to the point we're teaming up with Don motherfucking Callis. Where did we went wrong? Like, I mean, I want to see how far this story is going to go with the Young Bucks. But of course, for the win, it was the Young Bucks and the Don Callis beating the superheroes. This match was fun. It was entertaining and really no complaints, not a lot of botches. But moving on from that, we're going to hear from Adam Copeland explaining how he did not save Christian. This whole promo to me was just, what? If you really don't care about Christian, why did you tell him to go find yourself? Am I so wrong to ask that?
I honestly, look, I was trying to follow Edge and really just cope. I don't know. I was trying to follow his thought process, like, and then once they said, once he was like, I didn't do it to save Christian. Okay, so why'd you come out there? Like, why'd you come out there? I mean, it makes sense as far as like aura forming when he came out and he did his whole entrance and whatnot, instead of saving the guy who was getting his head, bashed in. Like, so it made sense why he took his time.
Right.
Okay, I'll give him that. That's a way out. But you still came out and stopped what was happening to Christian.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, they're probably slowly going to get back together. And instead, Adam Cole want to let us know, I did not come out there to save Christian. Christian made his decision when he said, go F myself. He is a jealous son of a gun. And he warned him that his whole family is going to turn on him. Then, bro, if you did not say that came to say Christian, shouldn't you just clothesline him or spear him or something? I'm just saying, like, he betrayed you, right?
And why does he need to go find himself
if you're not out there to help him?
Yeah, so sorry,
2 thumbs down
Cope.
for this segment.
Cope. Nah, bro.
But the next segment I will say I did like was Mark Briscoe's. Straight to the point, he's letting us know what?
If it walks like a bitch, if it talks like a bitch, if it look like a bitch, it's a bitch, MJF. And so on and so forth. Mark Briscoe ain't letting it slide.
You want to know why Mark Briscoe called MJF the bitch? It's because he stole the pin from Mark Briscoe at All In Texas to become the winner of the casino battle royal or whatever they want to call it. Gauntlet. Sorry. And I mean, Mark Briscoe, I see MJF was dodging you like a bullet, bruh. But at the end of the day, the smart man won, MJF. And I believe MJF and Mark Briscoe is definitely going to run it back. It's rather Mark Briscoe's going to cost him the title, or they're going to just do a quick little battle and then that's the end of it. You know, they don't always do long stories anyways. But
yeah, I mean, they've already been kind of going back and forth for a few weeks now anyways. Mm-hmm. So this is just one of those things. It's like a B or a C story as far as in level of importance to MJF's main story. So it's kind of like a side quest while everything else that needs to happen with like Hangman and, you know, main event scene develops a little bit more before MJF kind of goes further into it.
Because he can hold the thing to like a year, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, he's straight. Yeah. So, moving on to that, we have the $100,000 match. In this match, we have Thekla versus Queen Aminata versus Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale, and all four of these ladies all hate each other. So, of course, TK loves throwing money like it ain't nothing. Make it rain, make it rain. So, of course, we have Willow and Chris Statlander still beating each other up because they still got beef. I have a feeling those two are going to run it back.
All right, so I know some people are like, all right, this is such a random match. No, it's not.
No.
Okay, because all of these women have something against each other. All right, they dislike each other. Really, it's two rivalries in one match.
Yep.
All right, two separate rivalries. You got Queen Aminata and Thekla, and you have Chris Statlander and Willow. All right. For whatever reason, out the gate, Queen Aminata and Thekla haven't liked each other, and they just been throwing some haymakers, jumping backstage during like a little promo and stuff like that. Queen Aminata always looks like she laying in like some stiff shots in the matches, especially that move where she's like, let's say Tekla's like sitting on the mat with her back against the ropes. Mm-hmm. And then Queen Aminata like usually runs to the ropes, and then
she did that to Chris Statlander, and I was like, Chris Statlander is done skis for the rest of the night.
And then the double foot stomp.
I hate that. I hate that move. I feel like you about to take their whole chest out.
Yo, Queen Aminata ain't playing. Like she's on like kind of a mean streak right now. Like I know Tekla's supposed to be the heel in this situation, But Queen Amanada is owning Tekla.
I mean,
okay?
she gonna do more than them spider wasps because Queen Amanada is here to squash you like a bug. But of course, we have Thekla for the win.
Thekla looked like a buff Thea Hale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I was like looking at her whole time like, who
She's
does she
like
remind me of?
evil Thea Hale.
Too hype.
Yo, but so at the end of this match, what do we get?
Thekla win, but you know why she won? Because her two little goons, Sky and Julia Hart. Man, it looked like Julia Hart spit at Queen Amanada's face. I was like, was that supposed to be the Black Miss? Because all I saw was a little.
Man, that looked like a straight
spit.
goober. Like there was no mist involved in that. That was straight spit to the eyes.
I was like, okay, because that thing came like a little.
Amanada was probably pissed. Like, yo, if you don't see her on TV after this for like 2 weeks, that was like a humiliation ritual. Yes. I don't know what was going on with that mist, but it wasn't misting at all.
I'm gonna need Queen Amanada to find some friends because obviously Thekla made some with Sky Blue and Julia Hart, the witch sisters. So of course we have Thekla for the win, thanks to her little witch sister friends. 1, 2, 3, and I hope Thekla is planning to split that $100,000 with Sky Blue and Julia Hart because they did help you win.
But she didn't ask for it. No,
I'm just saying.
Do you think? I know they were raising each other's hands and whatnot anyway, so clearly there's some sort of alliance there. But do you think it's going to be like an official group or just a friendly alliance?
I say, some reason I feel like it's going to be a group because it's like you have way too many. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a group for right now and then possibly be like an alliance, something like that. Because right now I know they're talking about this is an alliance, but it's like this is not the first time Julia Hart and Sky Blue helped her. They help her in AEW Collision and everything, you know, with the whole, what's her name? Thunder Rosa and everything. So, yeah, this is going to be a short little alliance. Let's just start off with that. That might end up to be a group. So, like I said, Queen Amanada gonna need to find some friends. You better call her Thunder Rosa. I'm need you to, hey, even if you want to call her Megan Bain real quick, y'all almost have the same outfit. Might as well, hit her up something because you're getting a little jumped over here.
Well, so Amanada is supposed to be babyface, and Megan Bain is clearly a heel.
But she gonna have to do something.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. She might have to team up with like Willow and somebody else that's a little bigger or something. Statlander is not available. Can we get Jamie Hayter since Tekla jumped her as soon as she showed up? I mean, can we get Hayter involved in some of this?
I need some Haterade right now. So I haven't seen Jamie Hayter since her short little interview. All she got was a lights out, knockout, and then we have Thekla.
The disrespect,
and never seen her again.
She's still missing.
So hopefully we see her back, and she could team up with Queen Amanada.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next thing, which was
Toni Storm is here.
It's Toni time,
and I would say your reigning still women's champion, Toni Storm, as she liked to address herself. This tramp is still the champion. Mercedes Mone, you did everything we said to do. If Mercedes made one false move, Storm was going to eat her alive. And darling, she let us know she tastes delicious. Luther was injured in the line of duty. Unfortunately, he lost his wiener, apparently. Oh, Lord. So, Storm.
I hope that is not writing Luther off and she's just gonna be on her own. I know. I'm like, yo, Luther is a big part of the presentation. Okay, like it just works. He looks like a butler, like a stereotypical butler from around that time, whatever. But like, it just goes together. That's like Paul Bear to Undertaker.
Exactly.
So yeah, you can't remove Luther. So hopefully that's just for being silly or something.
So a quick little thing, Toni will let us know. Storm tits are pointed to the future. There are so many people with the knives, and Storm has to be careful now because this is the big one.
Hold on. We got a comment. Shout out to Tyler Helton. It says, I'm be honest with you. I'm calling it out now. Athena, she's gonna win AEW champion and still have Ring of Honor champion. Double champ. Tyler's calling it. What do you think?
I agree. I agree that Athena will be a double champion. You know why? Because Athena's here to make history, ladies and gentlemen. WWE didn't want her. Heck, AEW won her, and Ring of Honor loves her. She's going to be your forever AEW women's champ and your Ring of Honor champ. Who going to stop her? She is too big of a star.
And think about this. It's the perfect, like, she can just rub that in Mercedes Mone's face.
I'm just saying.
And guess what? We can get right back to the story because we need to finish the story between Mercedes Mone and Athena. You know we wanted Toni. Book the damn match.
I'm just saying, I feel like this is going to be the fallout for Mercedes Mone and the rising of Athena, because she is no longer considered a fallen goddess. She's the uplifting goddess. I am a huge Athena fan since day one when WWE had her. Actually, before that, when she was in the Indies, I was like, who is this chick? And WWE didn't even know what to do with her. But of course, TK took a chance in her, and she's just been thriving ever since. But Billy Starts, whatever. You know, keep them as a little minion. I like what they're going on. And she already done took out Luther. Luther's gone thanks to Mercedes Mone. You have Mina gone thanks to Athena with the little net bro, whatever she did to her. So I'm looking forward to this. And I hope they don't rush the story with Toni and Athena, because Athena deserves a proper story.
That was going to be my next question.
Right.
I'll ask you, Tyler. Do you think Athena cashes in short term, or does she let it kind of linger for a little while, let Toni Storm let her get, wait for her to let her guard down and whatnot, and then strike within like a couple of months? Or is this something that we could see fairly quickly?
So I see that you want to know if Toni Storm versus Athena going to be at Forbidden Door or All Out. I'm thinking Forbidden Door. That's what I'm thinking. Especially in the little segment, Athena, she wrote down something. She didn't say it, but then all of a sudden you see Forbidden Door coming out. I would like it to be All Out, but I have a feeling they're going to do Forbidden Door, unfortunately. Or they can do a screw job, and then she gets it All Out. Something needs to happen. I need Athena. I mean, if anyone's going to take it off of Toni, I want to be Athena. I'm just saying. Toni already proven that she don't need a belt to be over, and Athena obviously don't need a belt to be over. But if you want that heel that you really, really, really gonna hate besides Mercedes Mone, is gonna have to be Athena.
It's Athena. And then who else gets under Mercedes Mone's skin like Athena? I mean, and then you can always throw Toni Storm or somebody else like Hater, or you know what I mean? Mix it up with them. Like, that's how you slowly really get more of these main eventers at the top of the women's division. So yeah, I look forward to that.
You believe short term? Yeah, because sometimes Toni doesn't like to, what is that word I'm looking for? long term booking. Yeah, he likes to rush everything.
Let it marinate a little bit. I personally, I would like to see some type of feud build up or some mind games being played between Athena and Toni Storm. Mostly mind games by Athena, right? Just teasing it. The fact that she controls her, I'm not going to say proceed with caution, right?
I was thinking it.
But the fact that Athena holds that power and she could just change Toni's trajectory, by taking that title off of her whenever she feels like it.
Hey,
I mean, that's huge.
Athena could even go for the TBS champion if all I care. Because, I mean, at this point, we need to see something change for Mercedes Mone. Like, I don't know, when she loses everything, like, just start spazzing out.
That might actually be exactly what happens. Honestly, that, like, she cut the obvious promo against Toni Storm. So we're looking, okay, when is she going to cash in on Toni Storm? But the whole time, you got Mercedes Mone right there with a bunch of belts, right?
She about to lose all of them. She needs to. We needed something different, because right now it's like you're just a woman with a bunch of belts. It's like, what makes you stand out right now? So now the focus is now Athena versus Toni Storm. And I feel like Athena is going to be more of a threat than Mercedes Mone.
Athena got to get her lick back from Mercedes Mone.
She needs to take that TBS belt.
So, because right now she's 0-1.
Yeah.
And you can't call yourself the forever champ and you lost to the TBS title.
So I would need that. Run it back.
Yeah. So after that, we got a backstage segment with the patriarchy.
God damn.
Minus Christian Cage.
Lord.
And to sum it up, they're happy Christian is no longer with them, and apparently Tamama Cage or what? Hold on, Mama Wayne, excuse me.
Wayne.
Christian Cage needed help getting it up, anyways.
Lord.
So
she had
he
to go there.
Yeah, he couldn't keep up. In a nutshell, they're moving on past Christian, and if anybody's got a problem with that, they can look at the young star and come deal with him.
Because Nick Wayne is the rising star, as Christian Cage is the fallen star. Of course, we hear from our Okada, and he fought a jobber pretty much. I mean, the dude didn't even get an entrance. He didn't even get an announcement or none of that stuff. But Don Callis did a great job announcing Okada. Basically, he was like the hype man, better than Paul Heyman ever been.
Honestly, it's like, man, was this match just to debut Okada's new theme song?
Yeah,
and
most definitely.
Also to show off the Unified Championship as well as like the two other titles, the Continental and the other one. I forget the name of that one. I never liked that one. The international title.
Yeah, the made-up title.
Like, is this going to be a situation where Don Callis always comes out with two titles like Paul Heyman, which I ain't hating on at all, because I think there's something there with Don Callis and Kazuchika Okada, right? Because that presentation seems a little bit more important. It seems better produced or whatever, like, than when he comes out with Takeshita. And we know there's something there between Okada and Takeshita. So I'm just waiting on something like that, some kind of jealousy angle or something plays out with Takeshita and Okada. Like, I don't want to say they're fighting over Don Callis, but you know what I mean? Where it's just like, okay, like where Takesha's almost paranoid, like, you're just trying to replace me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can't have the alpha and then you have this other alpha coming in and he's got gold already. Yeah.
I agree, Tony. Tyler, about he makes me mad too. He's just like, give her all the championship. It just makes me mad because it's just plain boring, and it's like no really excitement for me before we continue with this Akesha segment. So I agree with that one. AEW has gotten better. I'm starting to love it again. It's the reason why my husband actually started watching wrestling again, was because of AEW, not because of WWE. No shade or anything, but I'm just keeping it honest. But I also, back to the Okada segment, I believe also this is also to bring him and Swerve into the picture now. Because, of course, after the match, you have Okada calling out Swerve because he's mad that he beat the Young Bucks and they're no longer EVPs. And all you got was a bunch of female dog here and female dog there. And I'm actually looking forward. Hopefully, this is not another Rush storyline. This is a build-up storyline, they're probably gonna do All Forbidden Door or maybe All Out. I mean, if you can do All Out, that would be great, because I want to see these two go at it on the mic or whatever. So
I think this is a B-level storyline, though. This isn't Swerve's main story.
No,
This is just so he stays active and on front of the cameras and whatever. Like, this also gives Okada something to do. This is two more top guys getting to mix it up,
right, that
we usually don't see interact with each other and whatever. So I look forward to it. I agree. I don't want like a rush job. I think they'll give us something good though, because just the simple fact that when Swerve came out after Okada said what he said. Right, Swerve basically punked him out, like, said to my face. You know what I mean? Because he didn't really come out and say anything. He's just like, okay, do we have a problem, bitch? Like,
right. And Okada was like, I could tell Okada was just like furious right now, but Don Callis like, nah. nah. The time will come. You already did your call out and everything. You defend the Young Bucks, but we'll deal with him later. Remember, he got like 15 people in his family, so someone's gonna jump Swerve eventually. So we ain't gotta worry about that. But moving on from that segment, we have the main event. We have Mark Briscoe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Hangman Page versus the Death Riders. I did not like this main event. You know why? We just had Hangman beat Jon Moxley. Why are we running them back as a 6-man tag for the main event?
Yeah, that's the type of thing that when I see this, I scratch my head because I'm like, hold on, didn't they just have that excellent, like, 7-star death match at All In Texas? And I mean, who would have faulted Jon Moxley for not showing up because he's selling like the injuries, except just the match itself, right? It was a gruesome match. Like, I would have rather saw the champ come out, cut that promo, etc. Because at least we see who survived that match, right? Mm-hmm. And then have Moxley out for like the next 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks at least.
Yeah, I agree.
So that, the fans who are so sick and tired of seeing Jon Moxley, they get somewhat of a little bit of a break, right? And you get Hangman
he shouldn't even
with the
wrestle
spotlight
either.
on him for at least 2 weeks. Exactly, he shouldn't have wrestled. I would have been fine if this was like just a one-on-one with the person who would have been the partner. Like, for example, say if it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Claudio Castagnoli or something.
Yeah.
And Mark Briscoe's out there for support because we know we can't trust the Death Riders to stay out of a match. And then you have like Yuta there or Marina, somebody else besides Mox. That's kind of like my complaint with this, just because we always see the Death Rider. So I think we could have did without a multi-man match.
Yeah, and especially Heyman was like 1 foot, barely walking. He was already limping in the beginning of the show, and then he's limping at the end of the show. So why is he in the main event again?
I honestly think we could have got some regular match between whoever. I don't know. That's not my job to book the show, Tony. But we could have got something after the match involving the Young Bucks to continue that. Like, I felt like that whole thing with the Young Bucks should have been weaved throughout the show. Mm-hmm. We should have got different situations with the Young Bucks not being EVPs anymore. Just like a constant reminder, because, that was supposed to be a big deal. It would have been a huge deal if Swerve and Ospreay would have lost. Because that's a whole year they don't get to compete for a world championship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was a huge deal. And, of course, like, leading up to that match, we were all like, hey, Tony, do the right thing, man. You don't want to put the nail in the coffin here by having Swerve and Ospreay lose. So I'm glad the outcome was what it was, but they should be putting over the fact that the EVPs are no longer, or that the Young Bucks are no longer EVPs. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was very entertaining anytime they did something with the Young Bucks, reminding us that they're no longer EVPs. I just think that was like kind of a missed opportunity for like a to be continue, whether you want to lead them to Collision or the next episode of Dynamite. Right. You know what I mean? Something to look forward to. And after such a gruesome and entertaining, etc., long AEW pay-per-view, All In, a little bit of comedy and some promos and a decent match, maybe a decent 2 or 3 matches on this show. I would say 2. Mix in some promos, some, progress some storylines, etc. And I think this would have been a little bit easier to digest, just because who wanted to stay up till 10 o'clock watching this multi-man match?
Not me.
Man. And I think the show ended by like 10:10, 10:15, something like that.
Before that, I was just like,
yeah, they were like, this is our last commercial break, and I think it was like at maybe 10 o'clock or 10:05. I was like, all right, we finna do the marathon. I see. Let me see what Tyler's saying.
I think I wanna.
Okay, look, we struggle all right, look, WWE struggle with their storytelling and everything now. AEW production match is better than WWE. Oh, 1,000%. Let me see. I think I want Tony Khan need build some good story. Yeah. This is unfortunately, like, for us, it wasn't that big of a surprise the way, okay, All In was excellent, and then you get the Dynamite after. First of all, it's on a Wednesday. So, like, they're losing a lot of steam. This is like hump day midweek.
Right.
So they're already losing a lot of steam, just the simple fact that it's not on a Monday. Or at least a Tuesday, but it's Wednesday. So it's like a lot of that hype and everything. Plus, before we can get to Dynamite, we already see in WWE, they're reminding us of all the stuff that happened with their stuff, even though it was boring. Okay, and then we get NXT. Those of us who like and enjoy watching NXT, we get that. And then finally we get Dynamite. And then, of course, we're like, yo, all right, so Dynamite or AEW ruled the weekend. Okay. And then we get like kind of a subpar Dynamite. Yo, Tony Khan he's got a track record for giving us like a banger of a pay-per-view, right? Mm-hmm. And then completely taking his foot off the gas and coasting until 2 to 3 weeks out to the next pay-per-view where he starts really turning up the gas and just like really digging into whatever storylines that he has going on. So if the next pay-per-view is Forbidden Door, traditionally Forbidden Door has some throwaway storylines, some quick ones, because like when you have other people outside promotions come in, I mean, the story's only going to go as far as the pay-per-view.
That's why, going back to Athena, I hope they push it out to All Out and not Forbidden Door. That's like when people from like New Japan or whatever crossover or something like that always happens. So I'm pretty sure that's where Tony's going to defend, probably someone in New Japan. Athena's probably just going to watch from ringside or whatever she's going to do with her little minions. And then, I don't know, something's going to happen. Like, I'm pretty sure we did not hear from the last from Mercedes Mone, in my opinion.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. I mean, you got Tony, then you got Mercedes, and I mean, you can make a case for Athena, although she's really just getting started on Dynamite. So, hopefully she's still Ring of Honor Forever Champ or whatever, but like hopefully like most of her work is gonna go towards AEW Dynamite, not Collision. But so hopefully this is Athena graduating and joining the rest of us on Dynamite.
I will hope so. Like right now I'm trying to figure out when is she gonna debut on Dynamite, because right now they got Billy Stark gonna be fighting Toni Storm next Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, so we know Athena should be there. Probably just gonna watch from maybe commentary. She's probably gonna be there commentating about stuff like that.
That's part of that where she's gonna start teasing the fact that she's got that clipboard. It's just so funny seeing.
Using Billy, because like
exactly
I said,
mind games.
Her minions, man. I'm telling you, WWE really fumbled with that one. But of course, we have towards the end of the main event, of course, you have Mark Briscoe, Powerhouse Hobb, and Hangman won. And we have the Death Riders didn't like the outcome again, so they tried to attack them. And then everything went black. And then we have Darby Allin returning again, looking at Jon Moxley like he's just like, "Aw." It's like, I'm just like, I guess this is starting taking everything from Jon Moxley. So, of course, Jon Moxley get buckshot lariat from Hangman. So, I don't think Jon Moxley probably is going to run it back with Hangman. Now we're going to have Darby Allin get revenge on Jon Moxley, is what I'm seeing. I'm going with All Out for that match.
I could see that. Definitely not at Forbidden Door. That'd be kind of a waste.
Comment.
Yes, that was a banger match. Toni Storm and Mercedes Mone. Yo, honestly, All In delivered and some. Like, the three main event, the triple main event. You had Okada, Kenny. You had Mercedes Mone, Toni Storm, and Jon Moxley, Hangman, Adam Page. Yo, we were spoiled. We were spoiled. I know a lot of people are like, man, the show was so long, but honestly,
I didn't even feel like it was.
Because for one, we didn't watch the 0 hour or whatever, the pre-show. We just skipped that all together. We caught the last little bit of that tag match before they started the pay-per-view. And for us, the show flowed. This was one of their better organized, well put together shows. Honestly, all in.
Even TK was proud. You see, he started advertising 100,000 followers.
Right.
AEW,
WWE
million. I mean,
style.
It looked a little cheesy, but at least he's starting to show the growth of AEW and everything. Because All In to me was one of the best pay-per-view this year so far. And yes, I agree. Mercedes and Toni put on a banger match. I mean, they literally lay it all in. You would think they was going title versus title, winner takes all kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure Mercedes might not come back next week, or maybe she would. Who knows? Or maybe she'll come back the following week. But I know she's gonna get her lick back. You got to do something after this. Like Toni said, this is the big one. Her tits are looking to the future and everything. So, I mean, everyone wants to be, that number one, the face of the company. So, and let's be honest, Mercedes calls herself the CEO. She don't call herself the CEO for no reason. So,
yeah, just want to remind anybody that's watching or anybody that happens to come across this video, we will be doing our open mic night on this Saturday instead of Sunday. We have a lot planned for Sunday, so we're not going to have time to do it. So we will be doing that Saturday night at what time? 8 o'clock?
We could do 8:30.
8:30?
Yes.
8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So go ahead and set a reminder or notification, something like that. If you are not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do that. We tend to drop regular videos and go live. We do reviews, we do reactions, we do a general breakdown of what we think of the state of wrestling and the different shows. So yeah, if you are not subscribed, make sure you do that.
And also to explain a little bit about Open Mic Night, pretty much we just talk about rumors, wrestling news, and of course we like to talk with you. We have live chat. We can chat with you if you want to talk about anything, any fantasy booking that you have for WWE, AEW. If you watch NXT, we would like to talk about it with you. Also, the whole point of Open Mic Night is to hear from our fans, and everyone deserves to voice their opinion.
That's all I got for this one. If you made it this far, thank you for joining us. Look out for the next time that we go live. Most likely, we may or may not go live for SmackDown.
Depends.
Yeah, but we will try to either use a community post or just something to let you know ahead of time that we will be going live. Otherwise, we will be doing a review on SmackDown regardless. So look out for that. And once again, this is the Wrestling Bubble, and this has been your AEW Dynamite Review.